Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 526. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going all right. Can't complain, I guess. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's the weather up there treating you? Cold?
Fucking sucks.
Hey, we got like 3 inches of snow, like last week. So
It's just cool because now it's always like insanely windy, like the prairie.
oh, nice.
Like every day, I'm just suffering from prairie madness. It's awesome. Love it.
Classic. All right, this week on the show, we're going to be taking a look at Companion, which is out now on VOD platforms. We're also going to be going over some we're watching on the watch list and this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I think we can dive straight on into Companion. This is written and directed by Drew Hancock. I have a synopsis here. A weekend getaway with friends at a remote cabin turns into chaos after it's revealed that one of the guests is not what they seem. The thing is, though...
No. Come on, man.
Yeah. Not a great synopsis. Like, first of all, she's a robot. Like, that's not anything that's even hidden. Like, you know that. You know that pretty early on in the movie, and you know that if you see the trailer, if you see the poster,
It's also kind of weird, though, because it does feel like they were, like, half-heartedly trying to hide that at first, and you're just like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Like, so when they do like the first, like, oh, she's a robot, and it's just like, fuck, come on, man, we already knew. Like, what are we doing here?
It wasn't a big reveal or anything. At least it wasn't the big reveal that they tried to make it out to be, where the like Iris go to sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
At any rate, Kevin, what were your initial impressions of Companion?
I can't say that I was too excited for this. This really came down to this movie or the other movie, which was like 4 hours long. And honestly, fuck that. So going into Companion, and I don't know, this just kind of seemed like not necessarily a mess. I don't want to say it's a mess because it's pretty well done. I mean, well, not being the right word. It's fairly competent. It just feels like this just needed time to cook. Just needed some time. You know, go over the draft a couple more times. Let's just try and refine it. It just feels like a rough first draft. Like, I feel like there's a better movie in here.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you there. I thought that overall it was fine. There's nothing really new here. We've seen a bunch of other movies that deal with rogue AI and robots that are abused and decide to get revenge or whatever. Like, it's something that we've seen plenty of times before. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing as long as it's done in, you know, an entertaining way, which I think that this is. It is an entertaining movie. It's more of a horror comedy. There's a lot of like comedic moments in this, almost a dark comedy. And, you know, I found it to be entertaining. I thought that some portions of it were pretty fun, and the, you know, performances were fine. I liked the opening credits a lot. Like, for some reason, they just reminded me of a 90s movie, those opening credits. And I don't know why, but I was just getting some really strong 90s vibes from it, which I liked. Jack Quaid is like basically a perfect incel in this movie, which I think that he does a good job of portraying somebody like that. And Sophie Thatcher was good too. You might know her from Yellow Jackets. And yeah, I thought it was fine. Not great, but not horrible either.
It's fine from me. It's fine. Like, it could have been much better. Like you said, we've had so many of these AI movies.
Very predictable.
Or Android, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it did not do anything to rise above any of the other ones.
Didn't really do anything new or elevate it in any way. I thought that the plot, the scheme, I thought was somewhat interesting. But I also think that the characters were a little bit half baked too, in that they were not really very developed at all. So I feel like that made it hard to connect to any of the characters and really care or feel anything when they get inevitably killed. But it was Rupert Friend was in here.
He was, and I did not know it was him.
He was
And
great.
short-lived, but
Yeah, great. He's so funny in this. And also Harvey Gwilyn from What We Do in the Shadows. He was great too. I like him in pretty much anything he's in. So yeah, I think the cast was good. I liked the location, the house that the bulk of this took place in. I thought it was cool.
I
Yeah.
do gotta say, one of the things that kind of bothers me, this movie in particular just kind of looks and feels like all movies right now. And I'm having a difficult time like exactly pinpointing what it is, but all movies, or the vast majority of movies now, just look and feel the same. And it's killing me. Like
Yeah.
camera wise, just like the quality of picture, the lighting, like everything's just the fucking same. It's irritating.
I agree with you on that. It is a pretty boring looking movie. There's not too many like visual flourishes here and there. Some of the framing is done, I think, good. There's some good framing, but like for the most part, it's meh.
Yeah, everything's just, I don't know, everything just feels way too utilitarian now. Like no
I
one
mean, could
knows
be
that
like,
you're allowed to like do things with the camera.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people just try to play into what they think sells, and you know, it's it ends up looking that they look at movies that are somewhat in the same vein and then try to replicate those as much as they can.
Well, I hate it.
I do like that they try to. They're like, oh, from the creators of Barbarian and whatever. It's like, no, this is not. This is not Barbarian. This is not on the same level as Barbarian to me.
Yeah.
It's not the same directors. It's not. I guess I don't know. Do they produce it? I don't even know. I don't know what.
Yeah, Zach Krieger and I think that. I think a lot of times should look to that as being like this movie's bad. If like their hook or their selling point is to be like, hey, it's produced by a guy that made a movie you like, that's bad. Like that really only works for like Spielberg maybe, and that time has long since passed.
Yeah, I do like the use of Chekhov's wine cork or whatever in this. I thought that was kind of fun because you just know that thing's going to come into play later.
Yeah, at least
The cork, the corkscrew.
Because it is finally something interesting. Cool.
That's the thing. Like when you look back at this movie, it's like there's actually not that much that even happens in it. It's largely in one location. There are not that many characters involved. Pretty
There's
much
nothing
just
to them.
It's 6 characters, but pretty much just 5, and then a couple other characters that have very short-lived roles. So it's
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because like leading up to recording this, I was just kind of like, this movie's fine. It's not that bad. But now that I'm sitting here trying to think of like what to talk about in terms of companion, I'm just like, you know what?
it's kind of shit.
Yeah, I don't know if there is anything
Kind of
worthwhile
garbage.
Here. Actually, the more that I think about this is just kind of straight garbage. Maybe. I don't really, like the only thing that I found interesting is, and I don't know if you can talk about it, but just like one of the plot points where it's not necessarily AI gone wrong or like evolving or going bad per se. It's truly the fault of one person.
Mhm.
I found that kind of interesting, you know.
Yeah,
But
it's not
again, that makes
completely
it makes up like 1% of the movie though.
yeah, it's not like completely your typical rogue AI type thing, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a score. Not much to say else about this, I think. Man, it's funny when like going into this conversation, I was sitting at like probably a 5 on this, but now I'm at like a 4, maybe even
Yeah,
lower.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Cuz like I guess I really didn't think about what this movie is
No, I think
until we started talking about it, and then it's just like
I think
what
it's so easy. It's 97 minutes. It's very easy to just like it floats by through your day. You finish with it, you're like, oh, that wasn't a terrible time. It was fine, I guess. Like, I'm kind of happy that I'm done with it and I can move on with my life and do chores. But then you're right. Like, when you sit down and have to talk about it, it's like, oh, you know what?
it's
Actually,
a struggle. It's a struggle.
it's like, what is there to talk about?
Yeah, it's just a very fleeting movie that will just come into my life and leave my life, and it will not stick with me at all.
I also, I don't like both of them. Like, do you have to tell people that it's a robot? Or do they just like know? Do they not change the appearance of the robots? Because that one
Well,
guy's like, "Oh yeah, that's a CY12," and it's
well,
like they all look the same.
at the end, you see that they're certainly there's like models of them, and they do look the same because
Which
she
is
sees the one that's like her at the end.
yeah, which just yeah, I guess that's money saving.
Yeah, I mean, you can customize them
The
to a
eye
certain
color,
degree, but I guess they're all based on the same template.
you just change the eye color. That's the only thing you get
Well, I
to do.
think yeah, that's all you can do on the fly. But like the one at the end had different hair, so like the hair was different. So at the building when you're like first buying it or renting it,
Yeah,
you
which
could probably
renting seems crazy.
yeah,
That should be
it's
illegal.
it seems crazy and gross.
Very, very. And how? That was another thing. It's one of the a thought that popped up, and I was just like, I don't fucking care. It's just like, how the fuck did this guy afford this shit?
Yeah, I mean, he does say that it's a rental. I don't know how much, but I can't imagine that it would be cheap
Yeah,
to
you're not.
rent such
Yeah,
a.
you. There's no way. There's no way.
And the other thing, he must have had it for. Yeah, now I'm like starting to think about it. So like, it was his. He was planning this with the cat character, and the other two, Patrick and Eli, they didn't know about this scheme.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that must mean that he had rented her like for a while, right? Like a
yeah. I
like
would
a
think.
like a long time.
I would think.
So are we to assume that like he didn't rent her just for the purposes of doing this scheme, that he actually did want her as a companion, and then because if so, that makes him even more of like a horrible piece of shit.
Yeah,
Eh, I don't know. I don't care.
I don't think you really need more evidence of him being a horrible piece of shit. I think we got
Yeah,
plenty to indict. Okay, we got we can lock him up for a long time.
yeah. What were you going to give it out of 10?
Gonna, I was gonna I was gonna give it like I was sitting at a 5 too, but now I think I'm at like a 4. I might even drop down to a 3 because now I'm thinking all the fucking stuff that he does, and he doesn't know where the solid state hard drive is
Yeah.
located. Like, come on.
Oh god. I do like that the technicians knew right away.
Oh yeah, I
I
did
thought that
enjoy
was
that too.
I thought that was funny. All right, yeah, that's companion on VOD now. Let's talk about something we're watching. Believe it's my turn this week.
Hit me.
Uh, I'll start it off with Red Rooms.
Oh
This is direct.
man, I'm gonna
This is
see this so bad.
yeah. This is directed by Pascal Plant. It's on Shutter, so you can check it out there. It's also on VOD. This is about a model who has sort of a bit of a fascination with she's sort of like a hacker. also. She's like a model, but she's also like very computer savvy. And she supplements her modeling income with online gambling, and she pokes around on the dark web. And if you've ever heard of red rooms, there are these possibly fictitious things where if you go on the dark web and find one, you can pay money to essentially watch a live snuff film. And this this film, the model is attending a trial for this man who is accused of running one of these red rooms. And it she kind of becomes obsessed with the whole thing. And this obsession sort of just like really kind of takes over her life. It's really good. One thing that I will say, the use of technology in this movie is completely spot on. Like, it is very clear that the filmmakers wanted to make this as realistic as possible. And when you see like all of the scenes involving doing things on the computer, they're all like using real programs, using real she's running Linux on her computer at home, and like it the accuracy of the technology is second to none, really. The main character, Juliette Garippe, probably mispronouncing that. Apologies. She's fantastic. This is a French Canadian film, so it takes place in Quebec, I believe. Yeah, it's great. Definitely recommend it. Even though it's on Shudder, I hesitate to call it a horror film, but it's extremely disturbing. So I think that it does kind of fit in on Shudder, but don't expect it to be like, you know, uber like a slasher or something like that. It's not even, I would say, not even like on a 7 or 8 millimeter level. Like it's much more subdued. But the thing is, it will still absolutely disturb you to your core. Like, it is still a very disturbing movie. So recommend it. Definitely check it out. Red Rooms. Kevin, I think you'll like it.
So I'm looking forward to this one. I was kind of surprised that you said it's on Shudder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's not like a straight up horror movie. There are, like I said, very disturbing elements, but it's the realism of it, I think, that really gets under your skin. The fact that like places like this could exist. Hopefully they don't.
I just wanted to talk about Tenebrae. I mean, mentioned a little bit last time, but now that I've finished it, just two things. One, the woman that gets her arm cut off. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Just incredible. Wow. That's up there. That is up there. Second, which there's this whole section of the movie where there's two women, they're a couple, they're in the house, they're kind of quarreling. The one woman goes upstairs to the shower, the other one's downstairs, and like the killer enters the house and kills both of them. But that's not how it plays out on the screen. On the screen, it is insane synthesizer organ song just going absolutely ham, and the camera just swirling and floating all around this goddamn building, just all over, up on the roof, going sideways, coming down on it's in the front of the house, it goes up on the roof, it comes down on the back side of the house, it's in the cameras all over. And talking about how like all movies look the same now and just no one knows what to do with a camera. This was like early on, about like 10 seconds into it, you're just like, what the fuck are we doing? This is nuts. And then it just kept going and going and going. And you're just like, you know what? Fucking have at it, man. I love this. This is awesome. Because you don't see this anymore. Just keep going. Do whatever you want to do. It's just like a guy losing it. And he's like, I'm going to do, it's like a guitar solo or something. It's just like, dude, cameraman's he's going to do a solo. Just let him do his thing. And then the guy that's doing the synthesizer, he hops in too. and they go nuts. They go ham for like 5 minutes, it feels like. Just incredible. Loved it. So that's
Yeah, I
Tenebrae.
remember.
You should see that if you haven't.
Yeah, I did see it. It was quite a while ago, though, I think. And for some reason, I don't remember a lot about it.
And it's one of my
Uh,
favorite like storylines where it's horror writer and this guy starts killing because of the books that he wrote. Love it.
mhm.
Always.
Tenebrae. Absolutely check it out. I saw Falling Stars. This is directed by Gabriel Bienzikic, Bienzikic and Richard Karpala. This is a this is like sort of a no budget indie folk horror movie. Takes place in a world where witches are a thing that people have to deal with on a yearly basis. And basically what happens is every year on the night of the first harvest, witches will sort of descend out of the sky, and will grab people and take them, and nobody really knows where these people go or what the deal is. And it takes place out in the desert, California desert, and you have three brothers, and one of their friends ends up shooting one of these witches when it's descending out of the sky. And they decide on the night of the harvest, for some reason, that they're going to go check out this witch's body. And through an unfortunate event, they end up desecrating the burial site of this witch, and they end up getting cursed. So they have one night to essentially break the curse. Premise is awesome. I loved the premise of this movie. Like it was one of those movies where it starts off and it feels like there's so much world building already. Like everybody just knows, like, okay, on the night of the first harvest, we got to stay inside. You know, there's like radio announcements periodically coming over, alerting people, like, okay, yep, we're still not good. Stay inside. Don't go outside. All this stuff. So I very, very much liked the premise. It was really cool, and I feel like they could easily do more with this. Like it was just just a really cool idea because there were like certain rituals that they had to try to follow and stuff like that. Like the lore was pretty deep, and I liked that a lot. That being said, being a pretty much no budget movie, it's not like there's a lot that happens. You're not seeing like, you know, witches flying around
Yeah.
fighting people or anything like that. It's very very much a slow burn. That being said, I was still incredibly entertained by it. It comes in at 80 minutes, so it's not super long, doesn't overstay its welcome. It it shows its budget, but I will say that it is an ambitious movie too, even on on a budget. Like the ideas and stuff that are in this were quite good. So I definitely recommend checking it out. It's on VOD. Again, it's called Falling Stars.
Okay. Interesting. I watched Deep Impact from 1998. Deep Impact, buddy.
Hmm.
The asteroid gonna fucking hit Earth and kill everybody. This movie is a fucking mess.
Oh yeah.
Lord have mercy. It is simultaneously like 5 different movies. You kind of have the like Armageddon types thing where it's like this space movie where these astronauts are going to go up, try and blow up this asteroid, and then they kind of fail, and we just don't talk about them for a while until they show up again towards the end. But it was kind of funny when they showed up again at the end. I was like, oh yeah, these guys. I forgot that they were in this movie. And then there's the kind of like the Amblin feel that it seems like they're trying to go for with Elijah Wood and Lily Sobieski. You know, Elijah Wood's the one that finds the asteroid and they think he's dead and all this shit. It's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. And I gotta say, didn't really like it. This movie is bizarre. There's a child wedding in the middle of it, which was just weird as shit. It's just don't know what was going on there. Elijah Wood gets married to Lily Sobieski because they think that will like save them because they built some ark in like Missouri or some shit. It didn't work anyways. So the whole point of the child wedding was pointless because it didn't work. And then the asteroid hits, kills a shit ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just Morgan Freeman at the end being like, hey, we're going to rebuild. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, the fuck? Like, this movie just, like, glossed over the fact that the whole human race probably still would have struggled greatly. Like, it destroyed a lot. Like, it wasn't extinction level, right? But it was still pretty fucking close. And they're just like, yeah, we're rebuilding. The water's receded. It's like, shut the fuck up. No, it didn't. It's so dumb. It's just a stupid movie.
Well,
But also,
you're gonna
it's also kind of fun.
you're gonna have to follow it up with Armageddon. You have to have the double bill. Like Deep
I don't
Impact and
know.
Armageddon, they go hand in hand.
I don't know if I can do Armageddon again. Is that where the song's from?
Yeah,
I
unfortunately.
can't. I never want to hear that song again, dude.
Well, the sad thing is, you probably are going to hear it again many, many
I know.
times.
Oh, God, I am.
So awful. All right, let's see. I saw Iced from 1988. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when it came out on Blu-ray. This is also on Shudder, directed by Jeff Whitney. This is an 80s slasher movie. Very cheesy, very low budget. Feels not on the same quality as even some of the more kind of cheaper looking 80s slashers, but it's still very fun. I still had a pretty fun time with this, despite it being very poorly edited, very poorly acted. The kills they're fine. Like nothing incredible here, but a lot of the kills are like related to it takes place in a ski resort. So a lot of the kills are like related to that. Like someone gets stabbed with icicles and stuff.
Eh.
So, pretty typical slasher stuff. I don't have much else to say about it. It's just if you're looking for a cheesy 80s slasher that maybe you haven't already seen a million times, check out Iced. It's a ski slasher.
Ski slasher.
Yeah, I think I've only seen like maybe one other ski slasher, and I can't even remember the name of it, but it was one that came out in the 90s. And I think I liked that one more if I remember correctly, but this is still kind of fun.
Incredible. The last thing I will mention here is Mountains. This is from 2023, directed by Monica Sorrell. This is on Mubi. Watch this on Mubi. It starts off following a Haitian demolition worker. So Adeban this year plays Xavier. He works demolition. It's just tearing down houses in and around Miami. And he kind of wants more for his wife and his kid. And he sees this house driving home, and he's like, oh, this is our dream house. This is what we need. He kind of becomes obsessed with it, right? And meanwhile, he's still, working day to day, demolishing houses in and around this Miami neighborhood. And it's kind of like, it seems like it's like an entirely Haitian neighborhood where he's tearing down these houses. So it touches on gentrification a little bit. But the really interesting thing that I liked about this is it follows him for a good portion, and then it kind of switches off to his wife, and you follow his wife through her days, and then it switches off to their son, who is, born in America, very Americanized, and he's trying to make it as like a stand-up comic, and of course, his dad is, there's the generational thing. It breaks off and it follows him for a little bit, and then it comes back. So it's like weaving between the family members, like as the movie goes. And then towards the end, it gets into this little touch of like magical realism, which was kind of unexpected. And just all in all, I gotta say, just superb little movie. if those things interest you. And it's touching and going at gentrification, because we've seen plenty of movies like that, but this is really like thoughtful from like the Haitian community in Miami perspective.
Yeah, this sounds really good. Mountains. It looks like it is available on VOD as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you don't have movie, it looks like you can rent it on Fandango at home or YouTube. Cool. That's it.
Spectrum. It's on Spectrum. Everyone. That's where most people rent their movies. Spectrum, right?
Spectrum for sure.
What the fuck is Spectrum?
It's a cable provider.
Every fucking time, dude.
Yeah, Spectrum's like Comcast or AT&T or whatever. It's just
incredible.
All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. We got Last Breath coming out. I'm actually kind of interested in this. This is the one with Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson doing movies?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Little thriller action.
Okay.
And the other one we have in theaters is Riff Raff. That looks to be like it's like a crime comedy.
Oh man.
With Bill Murray and Ed Harris is in there. Jennifer Coolidge, Pete Davidson. Looks pretty good. VOD this week, we have A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not interested in that at all. Are you?
No.
No. And you're like a Bob Dylan fan too, right?
Yeah.
You used to be.
Yeah. I mean, there's there's plenty of Dylan documentaries to watch instead, Like
Yeah. Yeah, I just have no interest in this at all. It's just, whatever. I would rather just watch that. What was the other one? The one with Kate Blanchett?
Oh yeah.
I'd rather watch that one.
There you go. You can do that. No one's stopping you. You can do whatever you want. You're a grown man.
True. We also have Presents coming out. This is the Soderbergh one. Haunted House.
Yeah. I'm excited for this one.
Me too. And like I deliberately put the blinders on with this one. So I didn't even see a trailer for this. All I know is that it's Soderbergh and it's Haunted House. That's it.
Yeah.
So I very deliberately tried to avoid that. We have The Killer, which is strange that it's hitting VOD when it was out on Peacock like over the summer. This is John Woo. It's a remake of John Woo's The Killer. It was bad, and I don't recommend it. We have the Greatest of All Tina. We have Stockade on the 28th. So those were all on the 25th. The 28th, we have Nickel Boys. Highly recommend that. We got Marked Men, Rule and Shaw.
Rule and Shaw.
Yeah, both of them.
They're doing both.
Yeah.
They have time for that? They're marked men.
I don't know. I guess so. Yeah. We have Cold Wallet and Uppercut and The Golden Voice. Wow. I mean, at least Presence is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of those seem... Oh, and Nickel Boys, too. All right. On Netflix this week, we have A Copenhagen Love Story. We have Miss Italia Mustn't Die. Those are on the 26th. On the 27th, we have Demon City, which I'm actually interested in that one. Action film. Social Climbers, I guess but it's spelled Sosyal.
Okay.
Yep. And The Wrong Track. And that's pretty much it for home releases. So, I mean, Nickel Boys, Presents, or is it called?
Presents.
Yeah, Presents. I was right. And Demon City looks like could be good. So, couple there. Blu-ray this week, we have Virtuosity from 1995 coming out in 4K. Man, Virtuosity. That's a great one. Denzel. Got Amadeus coming out in 4K. That's the 1984. I don't know if there's other ones, but that's the big one. Deranged from 1974. Cruisin' coming out in 4K from 1980. Definitely recommend that. Joyride from 1977. My Girl coming out in 4K. Get to see that kid get killed by the bees in 4K.
Yeah, he gets. Oh man, bees. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, Mac gets
Mac
killed by the bees.
gets fucking. This bees fucking ruined him.
Graveyard Shift from 1990. The Mask of Satan. Kronos. The Third Man is getting a Steelbook release 4K.
Steelbook 4K.
Influencer from last year. Sorry, no, 2023 that came out. That's on Shudder, I think. Thong Girls from 1987. That's a Jess Franco one that's coming out. I think that's a Severin release. Body Parts from 1991.
Yeah, gotta look that up.
Oh yeah, I have this. I actually just added this to my watch list not too long ago. I have yet to watch it, but it's on my list. Performance from 19. Oh, sorry, that's a Criterion. The Canyons. Remember the Canyons from 2013?
Yes, I do.
That was a rough one. That was a really rough one. Let's see. The Cat from 1988. Lady Assassin from 1983. Dinosaur Valley Girls from 1996. Okay. Have to look into that. Revenge of the Radioactive Reporter from 1990. Okay. Look at that one too.
You got a lot of stuff you gotta look up here.
Yeah. Project Silence from 2023. Devils from 2023. And what about Criterions this week?
I just want to say before the Criterions, talking about the Canyons. You remember when the Canyons came out and it was just like, he's done. Like, there's just, look how far he's fallen.
Mm-hmm.
And then now look at it. He bounced back from the Canyons. Incredible.
He did, yeah.
Didn't think it was possible. But we got two. One you already mentioned. That's Kronos from Del Toro.
Oh, I didn't see that was a
It's all right.
Criterion.
It's a little golden scarab.
Kronos is good.
Thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Not bad. Ron Perlman's fun in that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun performance. Speaking of performance, the other one is Performance.
Oh.
With Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
James Fox.
Yeah.
From 1970.
Yeah.
I've always heard good things about this, but I've just never been interested, to be honest. Still not.
Yeah. Me neither. All right, cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thanks so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. And if you could, consider giving us a review on your platform of choice. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.